You're listening to the Packernet Podcast Network.
What's going on, U.S. Cellular customers? I've got good news, so don't hit skip, at least not yet. I'm talking about their special customer event, Us Days. What is Us Days? It means exclusive offers just for their customers, just to say thanks, like $1,200 off any phone, plus $300 off any tablet. No, I didn't just misread that. They must really like you. Us Days at U.S. Cellular, exclusive offers just for you, just to say thank you. Right now, U.S. Cellular customers get $1,200 off any phone, plus $300 off any tablet. Terms apply.
With threats to our nation waiting around every corner, adaptability is more important than ever. When conditions change without notice, quick strategic thinking is crucial. And with obstacles consistently impending, determination is essential in overcoming them. It's this willingness, decisiveness, and resilience that sets Marines apart. With our fighting spirit, we don't just fight battles, we win them. Marines are the constant our nation counts on to fight the unknown. And through adaptable problem solving, we do just that. Learn more at marines.com.
Actually, it's the lead play in our offense. We ask our YN or a tight end to open up somewhere between 6 feet and 9 feet, get an isolation with the linebacker. Become a tackle. Take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, to drive down on the first man to his inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Email us, PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can text us 865-658-5824. Join alongside Jacob live in Wisconsin. We may have Tim hop in. Not sure if he's back from Milwaukee yet. Probably wore out from the trip, I would imagine. And Emilio's MIA, man. He's out there. We don't know if he's date mocking it up or if he's shopping for Milwaukee tools. I don't know, Jacob. What's your best guess on Emilio tonight, man?
Probably running away from Moe's Shroot and his INS truck. That's what I.
There you go. I'd say that's a pretty good guess too, man. So I'll tell you what you don't need to guess on. So, Jacob, we got a number of different directions we could take the show tonight, and I kind of decided on why don't we break down the New Year's Eve huge victory over the Minnesota Vikings last season. So we'll kind of continue that on out. Like I was telling Jacob offline, for everybody watching, we'll be back on YouTube tomorrow. So we got to really kind of pick and choose what content we're going to cover on YouTube to try to prevent that third strike, because when that happens, the channel's done. It's over. And there's a ton of people commenting on YouTube too, Jacob, which, by the way, picked up 5 subscribers this week. Hilarious, right? And the views are up. People are going back and watching the old videos. So, but several comments going, man, why ain't they going live? What's going on? I'm commenting on it, but I think YouTube has our comments hid from everyone. I believe that's what's going on there. So I'm trying to let them know, hey, we'll be back tomorrow and exactly what happens. So nonetheless, we'll be back there tomorrow. We got some cool content already keyed up for that. But like I said, we'll break down the Vikings game this evening. Before we do, man, I want to give a shout out here real quick, man. This is absolutely awesome news. Jordan Love has officially popped the question to Ronica Stone, his longtime girlfriend. They are officially engaged. I'm assuming this was maybe Italy, maybe France. I'm not sure where they were vacationing to or out there hanging out. But pretty cool, man. You talking about some world-class athletes this couple can potentially have. My God. She's an excellent volleyball player. Obviously, Jordan Love, a up-and-coming superstar quarterback in the NFL. Pretty cool seeing this, Jake.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. I think, too, that there's something to be said about when your franchise quarterback has a settled down, steady relationship where you don't worry about him. Maybe, we don't want a Deshaun Watson. I'll just say that. It's nice to know that we got a nice guy. He's building his family. Congratulations to Jordan. I hope wish him all the best of luck and a happy long marriage, So that being said, I hope that it doesn't interfere. It's good he does it in the off season, get it out of the way, and then it's back to football. And
Absolutely. Now, and her being an athlete herself, man, she knows, right? She knows what's up.
Yeah.
It's that kind of that athlete's life and what it takes to excel at your craft and put in all that extra time. And the reality is, it takes time away from family. It takes a lot of time away from family and relationships. So it's just cool that they've been together for so long. And if you follow her on Instagram, you get to see kind of the lighter side of Jordan. Man, they raised that boy right. That's all I got to say. His parents his dad must have been an absolutely amazing man. His mom, obviously former law enforcement as well. Just it's so cool that the leader of your favorite football team is someone as classy, as responsible, as mature, as team oriented as Jordan Love is. So Packer fans, we're lucky. We are very, very lucky. It's funny. Going into last season, everybody was saying, y'all been lucky with your last two quarterbacks. That's over. I think we're just as lucky as ever here. Now let's just give him time to grow into that starting quarterback role and perform. If he performs 3 quarters as good as Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre did, I think our franchise is in great hands. Looking at the second half of last season, he might be right up there with those two guys, man.
I can't remember if we watched it together or if I saw it somewhere else, but I think it may have been Rashawn Gary, or it was some other interview with the player where he was like, yo, you guys haven't even seen how good he is this year. Like, you've only been privy to a few public stuff. He's like, you haven't seen the stuff that's going on behind closed doors. Like, he looks dialed in. I that's not coach speak. Like, that's actually come from the players. You know what I'm saying? So I really think that the sky is the limit for him this year, because we've talked about it over and over again. Whatever clicked right around, midway through the season, and it was like a completely different person back there, different quarterback and an elite quarterback. So let's get it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it was cool too, because like last season, throughout the offseason, anytime the beat reporters, Jason Woody, some of those guys would comment on Jordan, it was inconsistent, right? He hasn't really had any wow throws. That was the comment going into last
cow
season.
Turd.
Don't even get me started. I don't even take him serious. I'm talking about the people who actually watch practice and pay attention. But yeah, so like your Matt Schneibens, your Jason Wildes, Wes Hawkowitz, those guys. It was cool because if I understood correctly, you notice you don't hear Jordan mentioned much this offseason. And someone asked, I think it was Wilde the other day, how's he look? It might have been Towser that asked Wilde, how does he look? And he's like, oh, he's looked excellent. Totally different from last year, right? So it seems like he's kind of sustained that. All right, we have arrived at starting quarterback level status. Now let's build off of that. So I thought that was good news that he seemed to impress there during the OTAs. Let's go to the chat real quick. Mike Berry says, good evening, everyone. Possums assemble. Sorry, today my wife had a pampered chef party, so I'm 3 Bloody Marys and 6 beers. My man is, yeah.
Don't be sorry, man.
Yeah. Smitty says, I'm on Daddy Soda number 3 myself while grilling up bacon wrapped sirloins. I've never had a bacon wrapped sirloin. I need to try that. I love sirloin steak. Baked potatoes and corn on the cob. You can't go wrong with corn on the cob, man. Mike Berry says, but I'm full unless someone has a cannoli they don't need. So amen to that. There's always room for a cannoli, man, for sure. And United Bates says he lost power. It's 100 degrees, so this is a no pants Daddy Soda show for sure. There you go.
Careful.
Yeah,
Careful
easy over there. Go easy on them, Bates. Go easy on them, bro. Jacob, still no cannoli, right, man?
Nope. I'm still a cannoli virgin. Yeah.
All right. We found a way to make this awkward at the 8-minute mark. Here we are.
One thing, too, I saw, this is totally off topic, but I bought an air fryer the other day.
Oh, man.
And I'm still learning how to use that thing, but I tell you what, have you ever used an air fryer?
Oh, bro, we're on our second one. We've had one for about 5 years now, total, and we
game changer. I don't use no butter, no oil. It's healthy. It's
bro. You can take. Here we are doing a damn cooking show now, but listen. Food is the only reason I don't do drugs anymore, bro. Food has saved my life. So, food. When you talk about the air fryer, the thing I like the most is you can do chicken breasts, or you can just do like the chicken tenders, the healthy version, not the breaded. You throw those chumpies in there and get them real crispy. It's just as good as it being fried, man. I mean, it is. Toss that in some buffalo sauce, whatever dipping sauce. I don't want to say ranch. People get really pissed off when you mention dipping buffalo anything in ranch, but yeah, pretty solid. So you eat your wings with ranch dressing too, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, me too. Blue cheese, ranch, all that. But Some people, they get offended when you mention dipping a wing in ranch. So anyway, let's as the viewers drop out of here while we talk, let's go ahead and get back talking football. So I thought we would cover a few fronts. I went back and was watching New York Jets film today from last year and was just trying to pick up on some of their fronts, some of their defensive fronts, and what exactly they did. Now there's a multitude of fronts that they showed. There's no way we can cover everything in a 45-minute podcast. We'll go over anyway, and we still won't have time to cover it all. But I do want to kind of show a few things here. So I'm going to pull up the screen here real quick and on the telestrator and show you this front right here. So on this specific front here was against the Patriots. I think this was the last game of the season, and the reason it looks so blurry, it was an absolute blizzard in New England, which I love that type of football. That's my thing there. So when you look at this specific defense here, Jacob, on the surface, it looks like a 4-3, right? It looks like 4 down linemen, 3 stack backers, right? Now you got a spur safety up here as well. Now I went digging through their roster to go, okay, who's number 11? Number 11 is actually a linebacker, but he's kind of a hybrid linebacker. I think it's Jermaine Johnson, I believe. They've got him listed as a linebacker, but that doesn't change what the front is, right? Because the reality is all of these offensive linemen, all these guys protecting up front or in the run blocking game, or blocking in the running game, I should say, they could give a rat's ass whether this guy's a linebacker or not. It's all about where is the gap integrity? Where do you attack, right? At the point of attack in a running game, whose assignment is it to block who, all those things. So when you get into talking about defensive fronts, not only does the defensive side of the ball communicate in a specific way, those specifics of the front, but the offense does as well. This came from Kurt Benkert. He had basically a guide, a book, if you will, that had a great description on fronts. To me, it was the easiest it's ever been explained. Now, understand there's some things in his book that may be different in another offensive scheme. They may word it different. They may look at it totally different in protections and things, but I'm just going to kind of barely scratch the surface for you guys here. So again, I want you to key in on the front right here. Let's just pretend this is a 4-3 front, okay, with a box safety up here, or what I call a spur. When you hear me say spur, that's what we're talking about, them coming up. So essentially what you got, Jacob, it looks a lot like a 4-4 defense, doesn't it? I mean, you got 4 stack backers, one of which is a safety, and you got 4 guys on the line of scrimmage. So that's kind of that old school college 4-4, similar to like a 5-2 look where you'd have, 5 on the line of scrimmage with 2 linebackers back there. But nonetheless, that's kind of how that lined up. Now, when we talk about defensive fronts, here's what we're talking about. There's 5 main types of fronts in the NFL. You've got an under front, an over front, an even front, an odd front, and a jam front. Okay, you heard me say jam a lot last year. In some cases, I said jam when it actually wasn't a jam because the guards weren't covered. But I said jam because that was the closest thing to the front. That's probably what the offense declared as the front in those specific situations where you had a 5-man front. So let's see if we can identify this front here real quick. Again, under, over, even, odd, jam. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a cheat sheet. Look at the over description. An over front is when the defensive tackle on the strong side is in a 3-tech and the defensive tackle on the weak side is in a 1-tech. All right, so let's drop this down and let's take another look here. I'm going to go full screen, make it a little bit easier. So, again, in an over front, again, you find the strong side of the formation is the first identifier, right? This is your strong side, obviously, right? You see the tight ends over there on that side of the field. You got 2 tight ends on that side of the line of scrimmage. So, or on that side of the ball, I should say. So you'll notice right here, Jacob, let me go a little smaller here. All right. This guy here is in a 1-tech. You see how he's lined up in a 1-tech? He's in between the center and the center and the guard. All right. On the strong side of the formation, he's in a 3-tech. Again, back to the defensive fronts. And an over front is where the D tackle on the strong side's in a 3-tech and the D tackle on the weak is in a 1-tech. So you got strong 3, weak 1. That tells you that's an over front. Okay. Now, also what you want to kind of take into consideration is if this was a true 3-man front, if you treated it that way, then 11 would be the will. But in this case, we're just treating him like an edge. So that would be what we call a 4-3 over front. Does that make sense, Jacob?
Yep.
All right. So that's called a 4-3 over. Now, there's a number system that's attached to these fronts, and this is how the offense identifies and communicates with everyone on the field in the meeting room when you're setting up. Hey, they like to run a lot of 4-3 over. They don't say 4-3 over. They've got specific numbers attached to each front. If they're in an under front, it's in the 20s. If it's an over front, it's the 50s. An odd front is the 30s, and even front is the 40s. All right. And now the reason I mention that is, again, we're in an over front, right? So this would be a 50s over front. So the first set of numbers would be in the 50s. Now, if you slide over to the right column there, the second number being a 5 means the Sam is on the ball. All right. Now, if we drop this down, there is no Sam on the ball. It's just a 4-man front with stacked backers, right? So a 7 is when the wheel's on the ball. Again, it's a 4-man front. A 9 is when all backers are off the ball. And again, we're treating number 11. I think it's Jermaine Johnson, if I remember correctly. We're treating number 11 like he's just a defensive end. All linebackers are off the ball, right? So again, back to our cheat sheet. That means it's the second number is going to be a 9. If it was, if the backers walked up on both edges, if they had the Will and the Sam up on the line of scrimmage on the edges, that would be a 3. Okay. So in this case, it's a 9 with all backers off the ball. So this front will be referred to by the offense as a 59 front. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So that's how they communicate that. So this specific look, I would call 59 spur. Now, again, spur is a college term, right? And with that college term, it just simply means the safety is playing somewhat in the box, typically on the strong side of the formation. But this goes hand in hand with the conversation we had last night on the podcast, where we'll say, someone asks, what do you think the play call is here? Do you like this play call on the first down? It depends on what opponent you're playing. In this case, if you were to do a hat count, right, and we're not going to specifically do the hat count, but if you draw a line down the center of the field where the ball is, look at all these guys for New England on this side of the ball. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 count in the center, right? And on this side, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? You kind of like your hat count over here pretty well, but really your true hat count would be on the left side of the field. So that's why they brung that spur up on the weak side of the formation, probably because New England likes to run a lot of weak counter or weak, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe they like to run, they used to love to run a lot of power before they switched to a zone scheme. It might be a power look. So even though you looking at just the formation, you would think, hey, you need to overload the strong side of the formation. There's probably something that Robert Saleh and his coaches seen against New England that, hey, even though they're showing a strong right front here, make sure we bring the spur up to the weak side of the formation because they like to run a lot of weak power. So just wanted to point out that's how offenses identify fronts. Again, the fronts under, over, even, odd, jam. And then, of course, the numerical system in which offenses use to identify those fronts and communicate them. So they're probably in the meeting room going, hey, that's a 59 front. All right, so when we come out in the 12 personnel, they like to run a lot of 59 front against 12. And there's where you get into the details of who's blocking assignments where. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right, cool. I just wanted to hit on that because we've been talking a lot of defense here lately and wanted to kind of dive into some of the details in that regard. But, yeah, so there that is. Anything you want to add to that, Jacob, before we jump into the Packers-Vikings tape? We're at the 17-minute mark.
No, I mean, did you say that was Kirk Bankert's book?
Yeah, he put out an online kind of guide, and it's more or less what he learned playing under the Packers. Go ahead.
I got to tell you, like, that guy is just he's kind of a jack of all trades. I feel like that he's one of those guys that whatever he does, he's good at. Like, he's a professional gamer. Like, I don't know. He's a really good quarterback. I don't know if you saw, like, he did some skill challenge thing where I thought it was fake. I mean, it looked like he knocked, like, it was similar to like the quarterback skill challenge. Remember when they had the moving targets with the chalk footballs and all that kind of stuff, but it was more like advanced where they had like actual digital measurements and all that. He was like perfect on a couple of these skill throws type stuff. The guy's a professional gamer, live streamer. I think he's done like everything he does. The guy just seems like he's really successful. And so it's interesting. I wish we still had him around. I'm not gonna lie.
He's one of those guys, in my opinion, he's got an extremely high social IQ. We talk about that all the time as if this is a philosophical podcast here. But I'm just telling you, those type of things, they matter, man. They're important. Anytime you're working with the public, whether you're doing podcasting or you're, trying to play professional football or whatever, that social IQ, some people refer to it as street smarts. It's just understanding how people see you, from their perspective. And some people, I don't care how people see me. Okay, good luck being successful, bub, because you're going to alienate yourself from everybody you ever come in contact with, unless you're extremely, extremely successful with what you do and you're just magnetized. You're drawing people to you. But those things matter when you're doing podcasting. There's no doubt about it. So, I completely agree. Smitty says, Ben Kurt's an amazing person. Love his content. Completely agree. Ron Sample says, Kraft was calling for a two-ring year for Jordan. Let's go. They must have tweeted out about that. I like that idea, man, for sure. So, all right, man. Let's do it. You ready to get into this? Let's watch us boat race the Vikings, Jacob. Is that cool with you?
Yes.
All right, let's see if we can find it here. Give me just a second. I think I've got it saved here fairly close. All right, so here we go. Hopefully the volume's up enough you guys can hear the announcers. So, again, this was the New Year's Eve matchup against the Vikings. You see the Packers were 7-8. The Vikings were 7-8. This is just one of those kind of rubber games. These are like two ships passing in the night right here as far as how their season went, right? So, here we go. Let's break it down, man. First quarter, 10:40 left in the first. Packers ball, score 0-0. You remember that, Jacob? We got that. We got that screen grab actually.
Look at that. Ooh, you can't tuck.
What's going on, U.S. Cellular customers? I've got good news, so don't hit skip, at least not yet. I'm talking about their special customer event, Us Days. What is Us Days? It means exclusive offers just for their customers, just to say thanks, like $1,200 off any phone, plus $300 off any tablet. No, I didn't just misread that. They must really like you. Us Days at U.S. Cellular, exclusive offers just for you, just to say thank you. Right now, U.S. Cellular customers get $1,200 off any phone, plus $300 off any tablet. Terms apply.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
You're a podcast listener, and this is a podcast ad. Reach great listeners like yourself with podcast advertising from Lips and Ads. Choose from hundreds of top podcasts offering host endorsements, or run a reproduced ad like this one across thousands of shows to reach your target audience with Lips and Ads. Go to lipsandads.com now. That's LIBSYN ads.com. You're a podcast listener, and this is a podcast ad. Reach great listeners like yourself with podcast advertising from Lips and Ads. Choose from hundreds of top podcasts offering host endorsements, or run a reproduced ad like this one across thousands of shows to reach your target audience with Lips and Ads. Go to lipsandads.com now. That's LIBSYN ads.com.
Yeah, we've actually got that as one of our picks that we use as a thumbnail on the show. It's literally that right there where the guy's just hovering in the air. Tucker Kraft.
He decleated him with a stiff arm.
Yeah, no doubt.
Look at that. Wow. And you see the little the move to stay in bounds, just a little split second. And dude, I'm telling you, people are sleeping on Tucker Kraft. I think Musgrave, he's a great tight end for what he is. He's more of that kind of, I think, flyer, like seam tight end where but I think he's more wide receiver than he is tight end. I think Tucker Kraft is a legitimate tight end that has got a lot of wide receiver skills.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. No doubt. So let's do this. Let's go full screen since we're on Rumble here.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. That way you ain't got to stare at our ugly mug while we break this down. No offense, Jacob. I'm talking about me, not you. So here we are. Well, back to Tucker Kraft. I'll say this, Jacob. Obviously tore the pec. It's going to set him back a little bit. They're expecting him to be ready for week 1. Absolutely no problem. But it's so cool that you got Luke Musgrave there in the fold, right? You don't go, oh, crap, we lost our tight end. Those guys, obviously Tucker Kraft, I would argue he played just as well, if not better, than Luke Musgrave filling in for him being injured last year. And it's cool to see those guys kind of pick up the slack for each other. So, here we are. We got kind of a semi Bunch Nasty X set here, 9:02 left in the first quarter. It's a 3rd and 3 play.
The hand of the defense quickly. And they go quick.
Let me just point this out. I didn't think about this, Jacob. This is a 3rd and 3 play, and it's an empty backfield. That tells you everything you need to know about what LaFleur thinks about Jordan Love, right?
Is that Jones that was spread out wide there?
Yeah, right here. There's Jonesy. Yeah, so you would call this it would have been bunch nasty X out of the gun. It'd be 11 gun bunch nasty X, and they probably motion them out late to give an empty look. So it would be 11 gun empty strong right T weak. So or you could say T slot left, but it would also be 11 gun empty all nasty T slot left strong right, I guess is what you would call that. So
It's the hand of the defense quickly. And they go quick. They don't wait sort of the line.
Threaded the knee. But this is going to take forever tonight. I mean, you're already seeing the plays. I mean, he threaded the needle there. Look at that. Beautiful.
Is that Wicks?
Let's see. That's
Yeah,
Bo.
Melton. That's Bo.
This was Bo's game right here, man. Jonesy.
Oh.
Into the 20-yard line.
All right, so 6:53 left in the first quarter. Packers marching. They're down to about the 16-yard line.
Oh, look at that. Look at that rollout. Oh, bro.
Barely missed him.
And it was to Heath. I forgot about that. For y'all on the pod, he rolled out, did a Patrick Mahomes style, and just barely overthrew Malik Heath.
Barely. Great job by Heath, too. Anders Carlson is good. Packers lead 3-0.
Viking receivers for that group.
I remember this play, baby.
Pop. Oh.
In and out of the hands of the tight end, Johnny Munt, and one of those corners, Corey Ballantyne, comes up with the interception.
Defense standing tall there, getting that, already leading the turnover battle, man. Corey Ballantyne. Again, I think Corey Ballantyne's underrated for sure, man.
Yep.
Next possession here for the Packers. 5:17 left in the first quarter, up 3-0. They come out and an 11 dubs. What we mean by that is a double set. So this would be 11 dubs, 2 by 2. It would be strong left with your tight end being on the left side, T same. So no nasty splits here either. They're spreading things out. All right.
Look at that snap, dude.
Yeah, let's take it back. This is that. You guys remember us breaking down cover 2 invert the other day? This is that play. This is invert 2. So look how they're trying to disguise here. With the safety up here in the middle of the field, you'd think this is just middle field close. That's what they're sugaring. They're sugaring middle field close. So you would probably think, okay, deep third, deep third, deep third, or it's man coverage, which would be cover 1 with your safety being the one man deep, right? Maybe a little hole right here too, okay? But again, what they're actually running is this safety sugaring. He's going to drift over here, and he's going to have half responsibility deep. And this corner, I think it's this corner here, is actually going to go play half. That's what you call invert, cover 2 invert, when a corner covers deep half as opposed to the safety. And you see Harrison Smith is showing blitz right here. That's their other safety down here in the box. So what you're going to see is with invert 2, this actually may be the invert here. I think it's the outside corner. I could be wrong. But what you're going to see Jaden Reed do is kind of get out here, bend it out, hold them, and then attack the post.
Look at that. That release, dude. The way he snapped his footwork was kind of like a little tied up a little bit, but he was able to just kind of flick that wrist and the waist like that. That looked like, I hate saying it, it looked like Rodgers. You know what I mean?
Just like Rodgers.
It's crazy.
No, you nailed it, dude. It's that jump throw. It's like a jump twist. That's what Rodgers did so well for so long. Yeah. And again, you don't have to stride into the ball if you have the arm talent to do this. And remember, Greg Cosell, what did he say, Jacob? Greg Cosell said top 3 or 4 talent in the entire league. This is what he's talking about. Watch Jordan Love. He got a hop back. See how he just torques his body?
He just does a little sidestep.
Telling you, dude, that he learned that from Aaron. That right there, that is Aaron Rodgers 101. That's what, I can't remember who was saying it the other day. They were talking about he struggled in the first half of the season. And then he said in the second half, he said, I looked up, it was Phil Simms. I looked up and I said, what the hell is going on back here? He looks like Aaron Rodgers. So you got, I don't know, man. It's awesome, dude. Go from one great quarterback to another. All right. So Packers, obviously the boat race is on here.
Leads the team with 9 on the year. And the Packers have jumped out to a 9-0 lead. Rodgers first.
All right. Vikings ball, 5:05 left in the first quarter. First and 10 play. Packers lead 10-0.
From Favre, love learned from Rodgers, making his own imprint here. It's going to draw time. Big, important right here.
You know, I have a theory that Aaron Jones, that the Vikings are going to use Aaron Jones a lot early and often, like we always wanted him to get used. And about by halfway through the season, he's going to break down, and Tyson Chandler is going to be a featured back. That's my projection.
There you go. You heard it here first. Put it on the ticker. Put it on the ticker. All right, 3rd and 4 play for the Vikings.
And let's stop Justin Jefferson. As good as he gets in the lead. 3-man rush. Goes it down, looking for anything open. Puts it up. Incomplete.
So, defense comes out. First drive, interception. Second drive, 3 and out. Packers with the ball up 10-0. You already see Jaden Reed playing flyer here, a little motion. So they're going to kind of motion over. Probably it looks like orbit motion, most likely. Going to run a little orbit motion, and that's going to set them up for kind of a makeshift trip set here. So it'll be trips left, nub right. And again, orbit motion is when the motion goes behind the quarterback.
Oh, God. I forgot about some of these plays, man.
Yeah, no doubt, dude.
Gosh.
Oh. Missed it. So that was obviously they went for it on 4th down there, but still up 10-0. Vikings ball, 2nd and 6 play.
All yet to complete a pass tonight. Changes now Justin Jefferson for 42. Pass, ball's completed 1. That was completed 2. Jefferson.
Now you see man coverage. See him following here. Look, Keyshawn going to come up. I think that's Keyshawn right there. It might be Valentine. Actually, it might be Valentine. Whoever it is, he's coming up to play press. You see Valentine following this motion receiver. That looks like cover 1 man right here.
Making sure they're alive. Jefferson's on the move.
Kobe Wooden in on that play.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously Vikings now push back 3rd and 16, down 10-0.
Getting Greg Joseph's field goal rate. CJ Ham is checked in the game. Helping to protect.
A big stick there by Nixon. All right. Field goal attempt, 54 yards.
54 for the Vikings.
By the current Green Bay Packer, Greg Joseph.
That was Greg Joseph there. All right, here we are. Next drive, 9:02 left in the second quarter. Packers ball, they're up 10-3. 1st and 10 play. You see they are showing all kinds of blitz action here at the line of scrimmage. They could be sugaring and dropping. They could be bringing the house. We'll see how Jordan handles it. All right, they're belling. So it looks like a 4-man rush.
Down from the 33. Jones on the move.
All right, once again, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-man front they're showing here. This is a good example of us of talking about fronts. Jacob, check this out. You've got your 2 tight ends, your strong right, okay? Now, if you look, this is a backer up on the line of scrimmage, which would be the Sam, okay? So here's your 4 down linemen. Let's see how they're playing. What tech are they playing? Strong side 1, weak side. No, that's a weak side 1 there too, right? So you've got strong side 3, weak side 1. That's an over front, and you've got the Sam on the line of scrimmage. We got to do this since we were already talking about it. All right. So defensive front, strong side 3, weak side 1. That's what we call an over front. The Sam on the line of scrimmage. So if you've got the Sam on the ball, it's a 5. So over 50, it'd be a 55 front. Make sense?
Yep.
All right.
Get some speed.
Wow.
That's a hell of a throw right there, boys. I mean, that's a drop in the bucket, ain't it, Jacob?
I mean, it just really is. And you watch the route that Reed ran there, Reed ran. I forget, man, how great he really did look at the end of this year.
So good, man.
Packers receivers getting open.
All right, 1st and 10.
Down the field. First down throw, 4 and 1. Complete to the tight end. 1%.
Hooker crap's so violent. Look at this little ace look, little ace balance look. All right, so this is 12. 1 running back, two tight ends. When we say ace, it means single back, one syllable for the word single back. So 12 ace nasty is what this is called. Notice the numbers. Everybody's inside the numbers. It's a nasty split.
Look at Kraft had a really nice block that too. Like I said, he's not just he's a very well-rounded tight end.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's cue in on him here because he does. He's got a couple bodies. He's got his eyes on it. If both these guys shoot outside, he's got to be able to handle it, right? And he knows the running play is actually, I think it's inside zone. Let's see how he handles it here. Oh yeah, look at him driving, bro.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, great block. You're right, man. Good eye.
Into the red zone.
Oh.
Again, you see these runs. There's nothing here that Josh Jacobs can't do. Do you agree, Jacob? Like it's not like Aaron Jones is making three guys miss.
I do. It's just Aaron Jones has a way of just knifing through defenders. I don't know how he did it because he wasn't a very what's the word I'm like? He was more of like a kind of a vertical runner at times, but he would just be able to dip his head and shoulders down a little bit and just kind of tuck through that line of scrimmage and through defenders. I do hope, if anything, I think that Marshawn Lloyd is going to be more of that Aaron Jones-esque type. He just reminds me more of like a Maurice Jones-Drew or just one of those little pinballs, like I said. So it'll be fun. I think we got a wide range of guys in the backfield. I think that Jacobs will do just fine.
Definitely. All right, so here we got a gun set. We're inside the 5. We're at about the 2.5 yard or 1.5 yard line. All right, so they came out in what we would call a gun, a 12 gun. All right, one running back, two tight ends, 12 gun, twin stack right, and they're nasty. So it'll be nasty twin stack right. So you got two tight ends on the left. Now you're seeing Tucker Kraft motion over. A lot of times when they do this, they'll either do zipper motion and bring him back, or what we call yo-yo, or they'll go ahead and bring him over and settle in. But what Matt LaFleur loves to do with his offense when you're inside the 5 is you like to try to isolate this edge defender over here. Now, I don't know what the play call is. I can't remember if this is one of those specific RPRs or not. But typically what Matt will run here, and when you got a stack look like this, these guys have to pick up that release, and that's tough. That is extremely tough. Like this guy could go in, this guy could go out, and vice versa. But what they like to do typically is one will work out, the other will give what we call a lookie, a peek, and they'll run an RPR, meaning ball snapped, puts the ball in the belly of the running back while reading this edge defender. Now, if pre-snap, he likes his numbers here, and this guy fires, Jordan can take a look there first, glance over. There's a lot to cover there. Typically, you move off of the pass aspect at the snap of the ball. You're not still trying to read two or three things at once, but with an RPR, it's run, pass, run option. So what you could do here is ball in the belly, read this edge defender. If he stands straight up, then you give the ball to the running back. If he crashes on the running back, you pull the ball out and you take the edge yourself. Also, you could have a passing opportunity on this side. If this guy fires right off the bat when he gets the snap, you could just chuck that thing in there on a lookie. Let's see what happens. I can't remember how this play unfolded. All right, so they're going to settle in at a balanced 12 look. Tucker Kraft's now on the right side of the field. See how isolated this is over here, Jacob?
Yeah.
And you could really work this edge. Let's see what happens. Read option.
Jeez.
And he's in. Yep. So that was a read option play. Again, go ahead, Jacob.
I was just going to say what's incredible is that RPR, that read happens within a few tenths of a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like there's no other way of saying that. Like that is, and not to just randomly bash the Bears, but I've been watching some random highlight videos of guys breaking down Justin Fields. He apparently he just could not react to what the defense was doing. He was telegraphing everything, holding the ball too long, all that kind of stuff. Jordan Love right here shows that we got to pay the dude. I almost just cussed.
Yeah. Pay the guy. Ooh. I know. Hey, it's okay. We need to pay the damn guy. You know what I'm saying? So watch this edge defender. Watch his feet. This is what Jordan's looking for. The key. See if he strafes, if he stands straight up, or if his legs get one in front of the other and he starts towards the ball. Let's see what happens here. See how he's aggressive? Jordan's reading that right now. Right? So now he knows, all right, let's take this edge. See how that edge defender is completely out of the play now? So now it's just a foot race with the safety. And I love that Jordan just says, you know what, little boy, come here. Bang.
Yeah, it is, dude. And you watch that safety, he bit inside just a hair too long. So like you said, Jordan watched him bite inside. And then if you keep it going just a few split frames here, you'll see him that last second where he bites inside just towards the center too much, closes off the ability for the gap right there. Yeah. But then you watch, he does it more.
Yeah. And see, the reason he's doing that too is because think about it. If they hand this ball off and it's just an inside zone run where you can just kind of cut back in, look at the hat count you got. You got 1, 2, 3 against 1, 2, 3. That means the running back is uncovered. So you just put that's the whole purpose of coming out in that double tight end set on the left side, that strong left look and motioning him over, right? That's the whole point of that.
Jeez.
He's moved down like what? Short of the goal line. He's got a hand.
I think they challenged this.
Yeah, it was a touchdown.
Breaks the play. That should be a touchdown.
That looks like a touchdown to me too.
Yeah, Love had his hand.
Man, Love got oof. Don't do
look
that,
at his,
Love.
Look at his back bending right here. Look at this.
Oh, it takes one in the face.
Listen to me. Pay that man his money. His monies. Pay him his monies.
Yeah. Tell him not to do that. He could have ran that to the pylon, I'm pretty sure.
Write the check and put at the bottom of the check in the memo. You know, everybody puts that, you got the memo spot on the check. Don't do that again.
And it's games, or will the flag have to be thrown? Discussion. Rolling on the field is a touchdown.
And we're going to not call the face mask that we just saw in slow motion 17 times.
Right. All right. So Packers lead 17-3. We're in the middle 8 officially. What does that mean? The last 4 minutes of the second quarter and the first 4 minutes of the third quarter is what we refer to as the middle 8. It's crucial. We got the turnover differential right now. Let's win the middle 8.
See them giving that a shot.
Oh, complete.
What is that?
That's one of the few lowlights of Eric Wilson last year. You don't see that often.
Like he did on the opening play against the Lions.
Yeah, he's mad at himself. He can tell.
Targeted just 3 times.
Quay, get up in there. Oh!
This is what we talked about. Remember the pressure percentage we broke down? He had the highest pressure percentage on the entire Packers team. He didn't rush very often, but when he did, look at this speed.
Combo targeted just 3 times.
Look at that, dude.
Second-year man out of Georgia.
That running back absolutely whiffed on that pass, bro.
That running back seen his life flash before his eyes. All right, here we go. 3rd and 16 again. Once again, back-to-back drives for the Vikings where a sack pushed them back to 3rd and long.
Jeez.
Jordan Addison.
All right, so we got a chance to win the first half of the middle 8 here, up 17-3, 57 seconds left, 3rd and 1. Little pistol look here. This is kind of rare. With a pistol look, you're in the gun, and the running back is directly behind the quarterback.
Needing a lot of clock here as well.
Well, play action.
Fake. Love going to take that deep shot downfield. Right in the middle. Not going to get there. The wheel of Evans there in coverage.
Jefferson just making incredible plays, just throwing it up to him down the field.
Have you ever experienced turbulence on a flight and wondered why?
And you can see all the terrain around you. You've got no issue with visibility or anything?
No, everything's peachy.
Maybe you've sat on the tarmac for hours wondering why your plane isn't moving.
Well, we're outside here. They're saying the ramp is closed. They won't let us park because of Air Force One.
Listen in on the conversations between pilots and air traffic controllers on the Air Traffic Out of Control podcast.
510 declaring an emergency. There's smoke in the cabin. I need to make a landing right now on 31 left.
We have the most interesting, wild, and funny ATC recordings you will ever hear. Check out Air Traffic Out of Control wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Preston.
That's a hell of a move right there. Watch our boy Preston right here. Let's see what kind of move he uses here. So we're going to go push, pull, swim. See it? You're going to push, you're going to pull him down, and then you're going to swim your inside arm over top of him.
That's awesome.
The only thing he can do is hook you and get called for a hold. That's all you can do in that swim move there.
What a great play. You know, Preston might be one of the most underrated Packers in modern history.
I completely agree, man. Completely. Takes a pay cut every freaking year, too, man. 25 seconds left in the first quarter. 2 timeouts, up 17-3.
Dobby.
25-yard line.
All right, here we go. Bunch nasty X set right here. And you've actually got your Y in the middle, Y on over here on the bunch on the right side. 17 seconds left in the second quarter. Reed.
Oh,
Reed.
dude. I forgot about how good he was. Bro.
It was worth the wait.
He's doing the gritty. Oh.
Yeah. It was worth the wait, wasn't it, man? We sat through some miserable games doing rewind all year. Now we're to the fun part.
Yo, look at that right there. That grouping in the bunch nasty set there is Tucker Kraft, Jaden Reed, and Bo Melton. That makes me so. You're talking like we're gonna see that for the next 3 to 4 years for sure. Well, hopefully.
Really, what he did was he faked the switch release here. With a switch release, what will happen is Tucker goes in, Jaden goes out, Bo goes long. But what he did was Tucker works the middle of the field, Jaden fakes that switch, and then works back across the inside. See it here? A little bang, we're back in. Look at that route. Woo, that's Harrison Smith, by the way. Yeah. That's Harrison Smith that could not tackle Jaden Reed.
Oh.
Again, carrying defenders.
Look at that, dude. The reach, love it.
All right, so now you're winning the middle 8, 7-0, and you're winning the turnover differential 2-0.
An opportunity.
Yeah, new quarterback.
They're looking for more screens here in Minnesota. They get a good one there. 20. Swings the protection there.
Oh,
Keyshawn on a blitz. Let's look it over here. See what we got here. That's one of those rare cornerback blitzes that we ran from the slot. Yep. So we've got a little cat blitz up here. All right. So you're going nickel blitz, I should say. Nickel's going to fire along with 4. I don't think there's any fire zone approach. So you're bringing 5. So what you probably got is deep, underneath. So you've got 3 up top, 2 underneath, and a 5-man rush, one of which is the nickel right here, Keyshawn Nixon. But I know Barry played so soft.
Wow.
Bang.
I mean, that just a perfectly timed. Although I will say that I would say a more seasoned quarterback is not going to
hold that ball,
not going to hold the ball and not check his backside there because that was a long way coming.
Also key in on Devontae White in the 3 tech because if Keyshawn doesn't hit home, look who's there.
20.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. He wasn't escaping.
All right, so here we are, 2nd and 28.
Jeez.
Oh my God, 2nd and Sheboygan here. Up 3-3, 11:43 left in the third quarter. Still the middle 8 technically.
Starters being held, but they're the blitz work.
Yeah.
Some of it.
All right, 3rd and 14.
14.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and again, who was it? Who was it on that play, Jacob? Our boy Darnell Savage.
Is that Savage? Yeah.
It's like, get your hands up.
And look at that tackle attempt. What is that?
Who are you telling, Jacob? Who are you telling?
Spinning around to the 15.
The bad news, horrible defensive play. The good news, he's no longer in Green Bay.
Yeah.
35 on your screen. Replacing Smith at it. Run that way. Chandler.
Hey.
All right, so the middle 8 is over. We won the middle 8 7-0. We're up in the turnover differential 2-0.
Stranger to comebacks into this building. A.J. Osborne on the move. Low. Puts it out. Chandler.
Missed tackle by Quay. Bad missed tackle by Key. He got him down now. He got him.
Good tackle to bring him down by Keyshawn Nixon.
All right, they're going for it 4th and 4.
Jefferson on the move.
Well, Ben.
Let's go.
He was contacted as he got rid of it. The Packers defense comes up to the stop.
Seen LVN squeeze in the pocket right there.
Oh, yeah.
5th year Elton Jenkins. It's the center of their offensive line. The takeover from the
Look at Jonesy. Oh boy.
All right, check out this look. This is unique here. We're going quad. No, we're going trips right. All right, so we're going trips right, nub left, out of the gun, and T wing here. T strong.
Would you call that a sidecar or no?
No, I would call that wing. Sidecar would be here. Wing is basically a wing is typically between the guard and the tackle. But there's some people that hear that and go, that's not technically wing. Okay, calm down there, buddy. To me, it's close enough that I would refer to this as wing. If I was trying to describe it to someone, I would say think wing, and they go, oh, okay, yeah, behind the guard. Got it. That's exactly where he's at. So
just defensively third.
And get a little chip there, right? Just a little extra protection is what they were doing there. Who is it? Malik Heath. Tucker again.
Tucker.
Second and 9 for Love.
Look at that.
Just so patient, man.
Jones on the edge.
What a great dude, this game.
It's wild, man. So here's another pistol set. This time we're going to go 12, one running back, 2 tight ends. So we're going 12 pistol, twins right.
Minutes and 45 seconds. It's a win it in Lambeau against the Bears.
AJ. All right. Little motion here. 55 seconds left in the third quarter. 3rd and 1 from the 9-yard line, from the 9.5.
Dobbs in motion. Love.
Back foot.
Look at that.
Bo.
That one. It is a Saturday night in Minneapolis.
So you end up with motion coming across and confusion on the back end. It was man coverage, and nobody picked up Melton. When they switched it off,
that's called butt naked.
Had the lurking safety in the big part of the reason the scoreboard looks the way it does.
Good hustle by OBM. Look at this mug right here, man. You're up 30-3. Look, they're mugging up here, showing a 6-man pressure, maybe even a little nickel action. Now he faded back. Now they were just sugaring. You actually got Kenny dropping back. Look at Kenny just sitting in the middle of a little spot.
Funny. Hey, he's
that
covering that
ugly.
zone, baby.
That could have been ugly. He would have killed that poor boy. All right, so the defense obviously holds again, forcing another punt. Now, anytime we show a special teams play, it's either a big play or a boo-boo, right?
See a good field there as the golf season begins next week. Back to the 20.
It's a boo-boo.
Is that Torre?
Yeah, it was Torre for sure.
Oh.
So imagine if he doesn't muff that punt, you get the ball back. You probably hold Minnesota to 3 points in this game. Good chance.
Get them on the move to try to make it tougher to double. Run. And that's a Viking touchdown for the first time. Love. First down. Once again, Bo Melton.
The draw defense is off. Without him in the lineup, it shows up.
Jones slash Romeo Dobbs. The 44-year.
When they flipped him.
Is that a boundary X slant there? I just want to double check because this is what Dobbs does so well, playing the boundary. Sure is. Again, when we say boundary X, this is what we're talking about. This is the boundary side of the field. The X is on the line of scrimmage opposite the tight end, right? Well, you got a 2 tight end set. Watch where DeGuara goes. So he's technically the X. You would rule him the boundary X, him being Romeo Dobbs, just going to work inside with a slant.
It shows up.
Jones slash Romeo Dobbs.
Remember, we used to see that all the time with Donald Driver.
They flipped to more of a deep.
Oh, look at here. Malik Heath assuming that Christian Watson role. See him playing wing.
Yep.
Love it.
Passing game, this team took off.
Get in there and just be a go.
Dude, he's blocking a D end, isn't he?
That's what Christian Watson does out of the wing too, man. This is why Emilio said he can block with Christian Watson. You can tell they put Malik Heath right there in that wing spot that normally Christian's in. You're right, man. That's a solid block. I think that's Harrison too. Yep, sure was. Heath made that play work.
159 tonight. 3rd and 7. Love.
Bo Melton.
Mofo Melton. Ooh. Oh, jeez. I don't like that, but
Get Anders though.
37. Carlson 35. Carlson knocks it through.
All right, Packers lead 33-10. 5:39 left in the fourth. 3rd and 5.
Looking around and going, all right, what are we going to replace him?
5 passes complete to Johnny Munford.
He impresses me.
Mullins protected here.
Oof.
4-5. Just to finish the conversation Melissa started there, if he's a free agent, other teams are going to want to see what he can do before they make the investment. Jefferson, what's the answer? And that's allowed him to really have a very pragmatic approach to it. Pressure. Gets it up to Chandler.
Part of it, they thought
All right, 3rd and 4. They're now inside the 10.
their season was over. They were good, and then all of a sudden they got hot.
Jefferson and incomplete. Try the other side this time in Carrington.
4th and 4.
Atlanta at home. 4th and 4. Mullins gonna put it up.
Oh.
Keyshawn Nixon's got some hands, Jacob.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Clifford in there for the old kneel down.
The Packers come to Minnesota and dominate the Vikings from the start.
Schmuck 'em.
3-10 win. Minnesota is not.
Yeah, look at that. That's the look right there. That's what you're He's like, God, give me some scotch. What the- All right, there you go. So that was Packers Vikings. I actually don't have the box score. I screwed the pooch there. Let me pull it up real quick, Jacob. Just give everybody your take on the game there, man.
Yeah, I think that was the Bo Melton come out game, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had over 100 yards receiving, a touchdown at least, maybe 2. And yeah, I mean, that's we saw it. I forget, man. Like I said, it's kind of crazy how good some of those Jordan Love passes were, how great the routes were from some of these wide receivers. We saw even flashes. It looks like maybe McDuffie or somebody wasn't playing because Eric Wilson was playing a lot of snaps. And everywhere on that defense, almost every single play, you can stop, look at the tape and be like, well, that guy's gone, that guy's gone, that guy got replaced, that guy got replaced. So it's, in a way, you don't know what you have because it's the unknown as far as these new players. But you're telling me that we went, we did it. We were as successful as we were last year with playing with some pretty iffy players. I'll say that to be nice. But I just think that this year could be a massive big step. We're going to have to figure out, where these guys are going to fall on the depth chart. But holy mackerel, I tell you what, I think that we're going to have a bunch of playmakers. And if they're playing fast on that defense, and if they're playing fast on offense and doing what we did in that last part of the season and the beginning of this season, I don't know if, dude, we are going to have a team that's very formidable.
Yeah, no, and again, July is going to be all about depth chart talk, camp talk. Like as we get ready for camp, I'm trying to create an interactive, I guess is the right word, depth chart that we can use, that we can, as a show, all right, here's what we think the current depth chart is. Would you put him above him, that type of thing? If I can get that pulled together, that's going to be a lot.
Look who joined us over here.
Badger Trio, man. What's up,
Hey.
buddy? Good to see you, man. Glad you found your way over. We'll be back on YouTube tomorrow, but I don't know how long it'll last. So you keep this Rumble active, bro. This might be where we end up.
Yeah, honestly.
So, all right, box score. Here we go. Jordan Love, 24 of 33, 256 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, a rating of 125.3. Aaron Jones, 20 carries for 120 yards, 6 yards a carry. Patrick Taylor, 8 for 30. A.J. Dillon, 7 for 27. Bo Melton, 9 targets, 6 catches, 105 yards, 1 touchdown. Jaden Reed, 8 targets, 6 catches, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think Dontavian Wicks missed this game, if I remember correctly. Tucker Kraft, 6 targets, 6 catches, 48 yards. Romeo Dobbs, 3 grabs for 28 yards. Malik Heath, 1 grab for 13. We move on Down the line here, Samori Toure had the only fumble. They lost that one, of course. Of course, the Packers recovered a fumble, 2 on that strip sack by Preston Smith. You had Keyshawn Nixon led the way with 11 tackles. He kind of finished the year pretty strong, Jacob. So I'm excited to see what Keyshawn can do. You've got some, like I said, you've got some competition in that room with Javon Bullard now. So we'll see how that shakes out the slot. But again, Keyshawn led the way with 11 tackles, 1 for a loss, a half a sack, quarterback hit, and a pass deflection. Eric Wilson, 6 tackles. Quay Walker, 6 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, 2 quarterback hits. Pretty good game there for Quay, no doubt about it. Look at Corey Ballantyne. He was covering Justin Jefferson most of the night. 3 pass deflections. And Justin Jefferson, if we hop back up here, let's just see what kind of night he had. Justin Jefferson, 5 catches for 59 yards. We'll take that. 10 targets. 10 targets. So the completion percentage when targeting Justin Jefferson, arguably a top 3 receiver in the game. Corey Ballantyne, for the most part, was guarding him all night long. Held him to a 50% completion percentage when he was targeted. Let's see what else we got here. Jonathan Owens had a pass deflection. Carrington Ballantyne, 4 tackles. Rashawn Gary, 2 quarterback hits, so pressure on the quarterback all night. Isaiah McDuffie, half sack, pass deflection, and a quarterback hit. Let's see. Devontae Wyatt, half sack, 2 quarterback hits. Preston Smith, 3 quarterback hits. You love to see it, man. All right. And then, obviously, with interceptions, Corey Ballantyne had the interception. Minnesota obviously didn't pick Jordan off 1 time. Keyshawn Nixon, 1 return for 23 yards. Samori Toure had 1 punt return. That was the only punt return we had all night? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had them down. They had to go for it on 4th down pretty much all night long.
Yep.
So, obviously, that no yards on that muff. Anders Carlson, 2 for 2 on field goals, 3 for 4 on extra points. Again, not horrible in my opinion. Daniel Whelan, 2 punts for 99 yards, average 49.5 with a long of 54. Jacob, parting thoughts, man. 58-minute mark. We did it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've looked at the analytics. I just think that we have some kind of undiscovered gold in our wide receiving room with Bull Melton, with Malik Heath. I can't state it enough that we got a lot of depth there. And again, with the tight end room, we talked about, like, everybody. I'm a little worried that Kraft has got that pec issue, but if he is back and ready to go by week 1, I'm telling you, I don't remember another team that has a better 1-2 punch at tight end. And I know that's a bold statement to make, but we really are starting to see these guys are going to take steps. That was a rookie year for a lot of these players on offense. Like, that's incredible to see that Reed was a rookie. Tucker was a rookie. Musgrave's a rookie. A lot of the guys on the offensive line are rookies. Jordan Love himself, in a way, is kind of a rookie with his first real season having the helm. Like, if these guys all take a substantial second-year jump or even a third-year jump, it is going to be an absolute just crap storm of talent, almost to the point where it's like, we don't know where to put the ball, man. It is. And I'm just, the whole Jeff Hafley thing, I just feel like there's a new vibe on the defense, because imagine Packers for the last 30 years, if we just had a top half defense, I would argue that we probably would have more rings. We'd have definitely more NFC championships, more titles, more conference championships. I really do believe that. So it's scary to see what this team could have if we have a decent defense.
Yeah, again, if we can climb into the top 10, I think we finished 12th in defensive scoring last year. If we climb into that top 10, probably going to win you another game or 2, at least. So, yeah, good stuff, man. Let's see here in the chat. Chris Nichols. That Hawk Tua girl selling merch and signing autographs. God, America is great again. Yeah, it's funny. Many people were like, I bet she regrets that. And the next day she's out signing autographs, selling merch. She don't regret it every day. Randy Cleaver says Tucker likes to punish people. Absolutely, man. And also Randy said, talking about YouTube, he said, I told you, Clayton, when those 2 jackholes were in that night, it's over. Obviously had 2 people jump in there, start trying to talk politics with us, arguing with us. Next thing you know, YouTube's hitting us with copyright strikes. So funny how that works. But again, we'll try to make it work on YouTube, but we're not going to change too much of what we do. We just got to honor their copyright rules. So if we get to a point in the show where we go, I'd like to show this. Hey, guys, we're going to sign off on YouTube. Meet us over at Rumble. We'll finish the show, and we'll hit some of that stuff that they won't tell us whether or not that's what's triggering the copyright or not. But nonetheless, I'm tired of talking about it. I want to continue talking ball, but we will be back on YouTube tomorrow. So Yeah, there you go. Randy, you hit the nail on the head, bro. Top 10 defense and top 5 offense. Whew. If we have a top 10 scoring defense and a top 10 scoring offense, or a top 5 scoring offense, book it. 12 to 14 wins, easy. So that would be absolutely awesome. All right. Jacob, thank you for joining me, bud. This was fun.
Of course.
So appreciate everybody hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time. You guys stay hydrated out there. Take care of yourselves. Bates, put some pants on, all right? Get the power back on and put some pants on, big dog. Yeah. But for those of you listening on the pod, thank you for making us a part of your day. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. And go, Pat, go.
The power sweep actually is the lead play in our offense. Yes, a YN or a tight end to open up somewhere between 6 feet and 9 feet. Get an isolation with the linebacker. Tell the tackle to take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, to drive down on the first man to his inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here. Try to run this play in the alley.